talk about the fatherhood and real life. We talk about the pressure, but we show up, show up. They always say you reap just what you sow up, sow up. So you know we never slow up, slow up. We are the everyday dads, unfiltered. Everyday dads, unfiltered. Everyday dads, unfiltered. Everyday dads, unfiltered. Everyday dads.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. What's up, man? What's up? What's up? Y'all see the hue, man. Y'all see what I do. Y'all see I got the hue. Come on with it. All right, man. This the Valentine's edition pod. But you know, we just gonna pod tonight, man. Hey, no guests, no thrills. Hey, guess who y'all got? Come on, Big Shaq Shaquille. Okay, talk to me nicely or don't talk to me at all. Man, what's up, everybody, y'all? Welcome back to the Everyday Dads Unfiltered Podcast. It's your boy, Mr. Short the Poet, Country Boy Shaq, Dad of Three, Big Florida in the building. Come on, Florida water run all through these veins, man. Huh? The spigot don't owe me nothing. But yeah, man, this the Valentine edition, man. I was gonna start y'all off with a little love. Those are the things I got to tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know how. 'Cause there's a possibility that you look at me different in love. Come on, zoom in. Ever since that moment I spoke your name. Zoom in on the kid. Zoom in on the kid. Father known I knew that by you being in my life, things were there to change a love. Come on, man. Come on. Y'all, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's Love Week, okay? Big love, big shout outs to everybody. Excuse me for looking off screen. Bronny was doing his thing. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Man, it's a good time to be loved, man. I'm gonna just say that. It's a good time to be loved. But first, sorry about that. We're gonna start this thing off with a mixologist moment. This week for you see I'm putting on my voice. This week for our mixologist moment. We got the blueprint. Okay. Here it is. The blueprint, you're going to start off with 2 ounces of reposado tequila. I did tequila last time, but hey, why not? Let's go back again. All right? When you pop that Who Getting Fucked Tonight open, all right, that reposado tequila, you're going to add 3/4 ounces of lime juice. Because this love week, we're going to add a 1/2 ounce of pomegranate syrup. Okay? You're going to make that yourself. Concocted. Get you some pomegranate seeds, add 1/2 and 1/2 sugar and water in there, reduce that down, let it come to a simmer. It's going to flow effortlessly, okay? Next, you're going to add a 1/2 ounce of agave. Tequila and agave are like a match made in heaven. They're like the sun and the moon, the sky and the stars, okay? They just a perfect match. 2 dashes of orange bitters. Usually, I'm an Angostura fan, but we're going to kick it up a notch. And then lastly, grab your rose, top it off with a little sparkling soda. And then we have the blueprint. Now, this is the blueprint to get to the love, okay? It's just a foundation, just a blueprint. There you have it. Tell them Country Craft sent you, all right? All right. Shout out Country Crafts. I got on my nail you tonight. All right, my business. So if y'all ever want some mixologist classes, y'all ever want y'all boy to teach y'all how I get down when it comes to the cocktails, I can show y'all how it go. Okay. So, man, getting into it this week, man, a lot of stuff that I seen, a whole bunch of controversy all across. This week, I think I'm gonna be actually a little bit sports heavy. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm sitting here talking about myself. I'm also gonna talk about some, pop culture stuff that went down this week. But I'm damn sure gonna talk about these kids. Okay. Now I also do every now and then a segment where I do kind of like a dad check-in just to check the vibe. So I'm gonna do that for myself. I'll give y'all a little insight about me. So from a mental health perspective, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably say this week I'm at probably about like a 7.5, just for me, personally. A lot of ups and downs with just my kids' behavior and stuff like that at school. Probably stuff that I'm probably overthinking and thinking is out of pocket. It just, I don't know, man. They're young, but at the same time, I know my son knows better specifically, But he's a boy. A boy gonna be boy. So I've been leaning heavily into my prayer this week for sure, and trying to show as much love that I can. Okay, it's not easy for me because I didn't grow up in a household where like love was just, you know, just a heavy emphasis. Like I knew my mom loved me, like I said, wholeheartedly, loving household and stuff like that. But it wasn't just like a exterior affection, so to say, like more so interior. So with that, man, I just that's one thing that I am trying to change. I know I often ask my guests like, what are some things that they're trying to change? But for me, is trying to change that dynamic, trying to alter or rewrite how I approach the games. Um, but yeah, man, like I said, something small, but it's a hiccup for me, and it's pants. Okay, shit may sound crazy. It may sound a little crazy. I think this whole podcast is gonna be a little bit unfiltered. So excuse my French, okay? But it's pants, and let me explain to y'all what I mean by that. Okay, my son leaves out of the house, okay, on a daily basis with a nice pair of pants on to go with his school uniforms and stuff like that, right? It's not a day that goes by that this brother don't come home and it ain't a hole in his pants like he the lead singer for the hottest rock band in America, okay? And I know you know what I'm saying. Hey, you brother say, man, I got holes in my pants that I buy from the store. Well, guess what? He didn't buy them from the store like that, and neither did his mama or his daddy, okay? Oh, man, that irked me. Boy, look at here. But I love him. And then let me tell you how sarcastic this little dude is. I just had to get to the point where I say, son, I told him the other day, I said, son, you the best son in the world. He's so sarcastic and just like me. That joker said, Dad, you the best dad in the world. I said, I couldn't do nothing but laugh. It was funny. But yeah, I'm tired of it. Okay? Because money don't grow on trees. Yeah. I get why all of, you know what I'm saying, a lesson came with everything with our parents, okay? And I think I just righteously got that right now as a dad because, man, everything come with a lesson. I started seeing that and recognizing that myself. Every time I do something, it come with a lesson. And I was like, dang, I really got to give a lesson every time I say something or do something with these kids. But man, it's all love. My girls, they're my girls. Remember I told y'all in the first part, like my twin daughter, she won Florida Black Fruiters, okay? That wasn't her forte. So, but she's actually been coming along real well. I told y'all I had to dial it back a little bit, let her do her thing. And she's actually been showing me some stuff. So I've changed up my approach with her a little bit more as well, as far as how I parent her learning too. So that helps out a lot. So something that I've, taken in and I allow her to do is I allow her to teach me. Well, more so it was more me kind of with the direct approach as the teacher. But then I kind of had to sit back. I took some observations from some other dads and stuff like that. And it was actually some really good advice that I picked up. So now I allow her to lead the teaching and the learning, because I mean she's been sitting there learning all day from a teacher, so she probably don't want to hear from me either when she get home. So I think that was causing kind of an extra bit of stress on her. And now that we've implemented that, I can definitely see an increase in her and my daughter, in her learning, her eagerness to come home with that information and stuff like that. So, man, y'all, hey, if I can do it, y'all can do it, because I'm definitely hands-on. I'm definitely a structured dad. I let kids be kids, as is inevitable. They're gonna do that, but at the same time, I do want them to have a structured foundation. Growing up in this world, all right, you can get wild, you can go crazy, but you can always come home. Okay, all right, okay. Getting into it, first thing, man, some real heavy business. Let's talk Super Bowl, okay? All right, mucha no ya, mucha no ya. I don't try. Okay. All right, Bad Bunny, man. Hey, what are we doing, everybody? What are we doing? I really enjoyed the Super Bowl. Okay, I'm gonna start by really enjoyed the Super Bowl. Halftime performance specifically. Now the game, you could have missed me with that. But as an athlete, that I am, like I said, more so a hooper, but I can go out there and throw that pigskin. I'm gonna just tell you like this: every sport that I played coming up, I didn't play football and baseball like in high school and stuff like that. In Pee Wee and Little League, I always had the ball in my hand. Okay, always. So from and this me readjusting my camera, so y'all don't mind me. So I'll just for sure pitcher, quarterback, point guard. Okay, so that just lets you know what the cranium got going on and all that kind of stuff. From a football perspective, Super Bowl, two teams I can care less about them. It's either Raider Nation or Hater Nation. So shout out to all my Raiders out there. Okay, if it ain't that, you can blank that. Okay, and I ain't want to say that, but for the Super Bowl, a very defensive oriented games. I had called it a ton of times to a lot of guys at the job, everybody I had been talking to. I said, I think Seattle got too much on the defensive end. No, the underdog, and no. Yeah, Drake made through 67 yards in the snow, cuz. I don't care if it was sleet or hail, he threw it. 67 yards. I ain't gonna cut it against that Seattle defense, okay? And y'all saw it. They prevailed, okay? Shout out to Walker the third. Definitely considering picking that boy on my fantasy league team next year, because he's for sure high volume, okay? Need to work on that catching. But hey, it is what it is. Don't, you know what I'm saying? But if I can't catch him, I think my boy Gentry, come on, Raider Nation, gonna have a breakout season, second season. So next season. And we're gonna get into that a little bit too with Raider Nation about some new updates that done came. So again, shout out to the Raiders, man. I'm gonna get me a Raiders some gear up in here, okay? And back up in here. Super Bowl halftime performance. I know I just went on a rant there. Bad Bunny was good. It ain't his fault. Y'all folk don't know Espanol, okay? Now, I ain't gonna sit here and say I know every word, but I was able to articulate and put things together. So that's about with me learning Spanish and understanding Spanish. I ain't the most fluent person when it comes to Spanish, but I know enough. I can get through a dinner. I can get through supper. Okay, let's sit down and have a little supper. We can talk a little Espanol. Okay, but great performance. I think that it was very on brand with the past performances that we've seen. It's very theatrical, a lot of culture involved. Like the last couple of performances, with like Snoop Dogg's and the Dr. Dre's and 50 Cent and the Rihanna's and all that stuff. Just another way for us to tap into somebody else's culture and see the different nuances of their lives and stuff like that. But I think it was a great performance. Lady Gaga kind of cameo threw me for a little bit. I mean, and then that was kind of like the only English speaking portion of the halftime performance. But I love that song though with her and Bruno Mars. All right, so I do love that song with her and Bruno Mars. But that little piece you could have kept. I would have been cool with it just all the way through, all the way through there. Okay, performance with a another Latin American singer, or what I'm saying, like they had a cameo with Ricky Martin up in there and stuff or whatever. You could have missed me with all the celebrity cameos. Like I don't need that. That was cool to have though. The wedding though at the Super Bowl was crazy. That's sick work. I thought that was just a part of the, like I said, the theatrics, the cinema of the event. But nah, them folk really got married right there, and that was dope. That was actually pretty dope to have your family culture displayed and illustrated at that form and fashion for everybody to see. Man, I know that with them reaching out to him, and I know he Bad Bunny, him to be specific, extended his hand. Man, that was monumental. That was cool. I liked the little scene where he kind of handed the Grammy over to the young kid. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was kind of like a passing, like a future tense passing it to the past tense or whatever type of vibe with the Grammy and stuff that he won and stuff. So all of that was very dope, man. I really enjoyed it though, me myself personally. I know it got a lot of pushback and a lot of pressure for performances to come, but I think Rock Nation got it right. Bad Bunny is a hell of an entertainer. And like I said, big shout out to him for embracing the moment and then kind of just bringing, clarity to the ultimate message. We all in this shit together, man. Like we all in it together. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, man, I was a fan. It was kind of cool to see. I let my kids watch it after the fact because they were already going to bed, and then on a later date, so I recorded it. But it was kind of cool to see that tie-in because my oldest daughter, she's learning Spanish, and that was something that she can go take back to her teacher. Hey, do you know Bad Bunny and stuff like that? So it was a little cool stuff like that. And then I saw another friend of mine who has a son same age, close to my daughter's age. And leading up to the Super Bowl, they had like little like Super Bowl cards with Bad Bunny on it and stuff like that, and just different words that they had been learning, and then just tying it into the Super Bowl. So it's always good to kind of, see that tie and that dynamic and stuff or whatever. So, but yeah, man, shout out to both teams. You can't win them all, just like fatherhood. It's like somebody got to win and somebody got to lose. A lot of the time is the dad. The dad usually lose. It's all good. It's about how you bounce back. So, but it's ultimately about how these Raiders gonna bounce back. Don't let us forget that. I said.
Don't let us forget that. Okay, Raider Nation. All right.
All right. Next, man. What we looking at? Pistons versus Hornets. Okay, yeah, let's talk about it. But before we get into that, man, shout out to Klubiak, okay? Our offensive coordinator from Seattle. Just became new head coach for Raider Nation. Hey, man, silver and black, you ain't got to overdo it. We'll overdo it for you. Now, we ain't radical as them Cowboys fans or nothing like that. But hey, come in, set you a little tone, and get some pieces. I don't know where y'all gonna go with that first pick. But hey, it is what it is. Hey, I'll leave it there. Okay, Raider Nation. Pistons versus Hornets brawl. Okay, I'm gonna just say this right here, man. That other night, and me, I'm definitely not an advocate for violence. Definitely not an advocate for violence. But He gave me that old NBA vibe back a little bit with them Pistons. Okay, when I tell you them boys, the Durhams and the and the Cade Cunninghams and the Isaiah Stewarts on that team, they set a precedence, man. And I will say that with their tone, with their delivery, a part of like any competitive sport is the biggest probably I would say advocate or biggest part of it is mental. We hit on that at the beginning of the show. It's mental. Like confidence is everything. And I haven't been to the NBA. I have a lot of homeboys, hoopers and stuff like that I know who have been in the NBA or teetered that line to get into the NBA. Like I say, I really do this. But the biggest thing where you see the success and the failure in NBA comes with confidence. So you always gotta, you know what I'm saying? That's the biggest part of the development. And what I tell you, like them boys carrying the aura of them, like the Pistons, they carrying the aura, more modernized, but they carrying the aura. So I commend them boys and I give it up to them. Take my hats off to them. Now we talking about getting active, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you this now, some hefty fines gonna come from that. Okay. One thing that I definitely always preach to my kids, just tying it in for the dads. Your consequences will come from your actions. And I know them boys, they know what they was doing. Like I said, they taking on that mantra, bad boys for life or whatever, the Pistons, the bad boys, all that stuff. But I will say now, you jack it up, you gonna have to pay for it. I'm gonna just say Isaiah Stewart, that boy, that crazy. This boy came off the bench with ice on his knee. Man, look, control, man, emotional control, and I mess with the vibe, but like emotional control is a thing, and often I preach that to my kids because when I was coming up, like I didn't really have like regulation to say stuff back to my mama, like back in the days and how I was raised and parented. Like I said, grew up in a very loving household, love my mom to death, but like if my mama said it, that what she meant. Like it ain't no ifs, ands, or no buts. No, none of that. But me, you know what I'm saying, and being a new generation dad, and stuff like that, I give grace to that for the rebuttal. Because like a lot of shit like that, my mama wouldn't let fly, I let fly. Now at times I have to dial it in because you know what I'm saying, kids, once you let go the rope, they'll fly out there. But I'll let stuff fly. You know what I'm saying? I let stuff fly that I know that I wouldn't have got no grace on coming up or whatever. But I teach that emotional control because at times when I say, hey, that's it, let's cut it off, boom, boom, boom. My kids, just like all kids, they get mad because they think fun supposed to happen forever. Like it's crazy, right? Like they supposed to always have fun. So I mean, and we had those same feelings and stuff like that growing up as kids. But like I try to teach them it's okay to be mad. It's okay to get mad, but it's about how you control that. And to a certain extent, sometimes I want to see the true emotion too, or whatever, because I need to understand how to help you navigate that as well, as a parent or as a dad. So that's one thing that I preach, and definitely the same thing for them boys. Now they definitely in a whole different tax bracket. Them fines are gonna come. They're gonna be hefty, but I think they'll be able to. I think they'll be able to move past that. And then shout out to the Pistons, man. They number one in the East. They just recently beat the Knicks, and I think the Knicks number two in the East as well. They just had some recent trades that they let go. They let go Ivy. I think Ivy is over at the Bulls now and stuff like that. So some recent trades that kind of shook up the team a little bit, but Can't think of the I gotta look up his name. The backup point guard for the Pistons. Let me look at the Pistons roster. I like Kid. Buddy Fire. He got the dreads on the Pistons. Is it Denise Jenkins? Let me see if this him. Don, yeah. That boy got a little game. Now he only averaging 8 points, but I see it. Cuz got it. He got it. They gonna get some fines. But them boys definitely living up to the hype. I will say that. And man, I lived in Detroit for almost. You said what? The rest of them? Oh no, hold on. They should be in there. If they're not, I'll come in there and look for them in a second. All right. So yeah, Jenkins, he nice. And Detroit, them boys live in the mantra, but man, that city get down like that. Okay, them boys really, really, really get down like that in the D. Man, let me tell y'all. This is a
D-Town story, okay? All right.
when I first got out of college, my first job was up in Detroit. So I lived there for almost 10 years, right? So love Detroit, got a special place in my home. I'm a Florida boy through and through, but I got some Midwest ties too, okay? Man, country boy, okay? Really ain't seen no action like that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen, some folks shooting in the air here and there and stuff like that. But nothing crazy. Like I'm not watching the news and it's, kill, drill. It ain't no stuff like that or whatever. And I don't just want to highlight the thing, but this was a crazy stat line that I had saw once I first got up there in the D. My mama told me, she said, once you get up there, boy, make sure you watching that old news, okay? So guess what I did? Once I first moved to my apartment, the kid cut the news on, all right? Cut the news on, man. The reporter gets on the TV and opens his mouth and says, reporting news, Detroit has broken a recent record. We haven't had a call in the last 36 hours for a shooting or in the city. Man, I had never heard no stat line like that in my life. I was talking about Jay crazy. Boy, I heard that. I say, man, where the hell I done moved at? But all in all, like I said, almost 10 years later, man, I met some of my best friend, my closest partners in life in that city. They definitely, like I said, thriving this year. But man, shout out to the D, man. Shout out to the D. And like I said, Denise Jenkins, that's my he y'all keep your eyes on him, okay? He want that smoke too. So y'all keep an eye out for that kid. He's a good role player for that team though, for sure. Definitely a good role player for that team. All right. Man, all right. So also in other news, man, like I said, we're gonna talk sports heavy. Since we already talking the NBA. And shout out to my Jayhawks, okay? Beat the #1 team in the I'm a Kansas Jayhawk fan. So a little bit about me too, man. I'm all over the place when it comes to sports. Shout out again to the #1 HBCU in the land. Let's take a little peek at that, okay? FAMU, all right? #1 HBCU in the land. Neither here nor there. What's known does not need to be said. So definitely a Rattler fan. FAMU Rattlers. NFL, Raider Nation. They're one of my partners, one of my homies. Right here. Hey, what's up, bro? Not much in here podding. We live with it right now. Yeah. Lord, this dude right here. Okay, hold on. Let me pause the pod. Okay, cause he talking like a fool. What you talking about, man? You need me to call you back after I finish pod, man. What's up? Birthday weekend. Okay. Birthday weekend. My birthday weekend, you gonna throw an extra ticket in there for the Lakers game. March 8th on a Sunday in NBA prime time, LA 12:30. All right. I can catch a red eye back home and okay. All right. Okay. All right. For this for this segment of my friends ain't shit. All right, I got my homeboy here. Okay, I tried to tell my partners, y'all, this year I wasn't doing too much traveling, and he come and hit me with this birthday weekend. Okay, he know I've rocked with Bron, and I'm talking NBA right now. Okay, this week. See, you just okay. All right. Well, okay, I got that on my radar. I'll let you know what comes of it. Yeah, I'll hit you back in a bit. All right. So yeah, my friends, one of my closest partners from college. But again, getting back into it, Raider Nation for the NFL. College basketball, my favorite team is the Kansas Jayhawk. I've been a fan ever since Kurt Heinrich was there, and like D Miles and all them boys was there. You know, you got the Collins and the Morris twins, and you know, it's just you got Brandon that was over there at the time. B Rush, like you, man. Hey, we had them, okay, and we still got them, okay. Speaking of, still got them. Darren Peterson, okay. Hey, my man, look here. Is this thing on? Okay, brother.
Got to play more games than that. Okay.
He is dog. He killing me because we won that game again the other night against the number one team, Arizona Wildcats, University of Arizona. We won that game the other night, and he didn't play. He was a DNP on in that game or whatever. I know you say he had like flu-like symptoms and stuff, but dog, he supposed to be. I don't know how this look on him. Man, I don't know how this look on him because the only other player, now the kid is good. I ain't gonna hold you. The boy is a walking 20 to 25 every time he step out there on that court. I ain't even gonna hold you. People are making some small comparisons to like Kobe and stuff in his game about how he picks and chooses positions and points out on the court. Lean that heavily into it, me personally, but I definitely think that he's a great player. The only bad stigma is like all of the injuries and the sitting out and stuff like that. I don't know. His upside, he man, he's ready. I think he can go to the NBA and contribute right now. I do. But I don't know if his body's gonna hold up. He's very young talent, big expectations. But man, I just hope it pans out for him. The only other player that I've seen do something to this capacity, be a top pick and then exceed, Kyrie Irving. Because Kyrie Irving at Duke, when he was there, he didn't play. I want to say maybe 12 games or something like that. He didn't play. He didn't play a lot because he was I think injured majority of that season. Kyrie, again, I think was number one pick if I'm not mistaken. I think Kyrie was the number one pick. And in addition to that, let me see. In addition to that, y'all know who Kyrie is. Now, minus the injuries and stuff that Kyrie done had, man, look, Kyrie is a bucket, a walking bucket. Best handles to ever bless the courts of the NBA. Best handles. I know you got the Rod Stricklands and the AIs. You can argue with your dad and your mama. You can't argue with me about that. Okay, Kyrie got it on the string, and he's always been like that. And then just can finish around the basket. Don't really look to him for facilitating, but he can put the ball in the hoop. So, but if I had to compare a situation, I would say I think Kyrie. I think Kyrie is probably the only one that kind of matches up to what he has going on. Yeah, Kyrie number one for Cleveland. Yep, so I was right. But yeah, man, like big ups to the kid. I hope he does well. I just think he just has to make sure that he's prepared. I know for that gauntlet of a season. It is not easy going from or it's not going to be easy going from, you talking about 30 to 35 games up to like 82, 82 game season. Man, that's going to be so damn harsh on his body. And he already having problems with like hamstrings and cramping and all that stuff. Man, if you know, like, man, get that boy some pickle juice, man. That's what we do out in the country, man. Them cramps start, get that boy some pickle juice, man. Hey, some old things you got to just keep around, okay? All right, some old things you just got to keep around, man. But yeah, keep prepping. Jayhawks, let's keep striving. Rock Jayhawks, Roger Jayhawks, Roger Jayhawks, TKU. Come on now. And again, I got Bron on up here or whatever. And as I'm getting ready to talk about that, they flashing it on the TV. All-Star Weekend in LA, man. Come on, 2026. It's gonna be a vibe. LA is on fire right now for just like events that they have coming up and stuff. You got the new stadiums out there with the Clippers and stuff like that. You got the SoFi Stadium. They just had the Super Bowl out there. They got All-Star Weekend out there. In a couple years, you got the Olympics coming up. But this weekend, it is going to be, I don't know, man. I don't know how I'm feeling. I don't know how I'm feeling about the, I don't know how I'm feeling about just the competition altogether. Earlier, I talked about, the old NBA and stuff like that. I don't think we ever going to get that back as far as the competitive nature of it, because the game has turned into too much of a business. Back then, it wasn't about the business. Nah, get your ass out here and get these buckets, right? And it was, what I'm saying, that was, a lot of times you hear a lot of the old heads, this is a trying time, but at the same time, I understand the severity of the situation with, going into the game and potentially getting injured and stuff like that. Again, the older players, the veterans and stuff like that, they definitely played and had that same enthusiasm and drive and stuff for the game. But I think they need a kick. Somebody on that marketing team just ain't listening. But this ain't it. I don't like this whole us versus the world concept thing that they got going on, man. Definitely not a fan of that. I say take it back old school, man. East versus West. You know what I'm saying? Get you a couple teams, players and stuff like that or whatever. But had them have they own jerseys, from East Side, East versus West. That's the All-Star game that I miss, man. And I think just representation of, what I'm saying, your conference and stuff like that, I think goes a long way and stuff. So let's look at these All-Star rosters, man. Let's take a look at them. So we got the USA Stars. You got Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, Anthony Edwards, Jalen Johnson, first-time All-Star. Shout out to him, man. I'm in the A with it right now. That's where I reside. Jalen Johnson been balling this year, 23.3 points a game this year. They just got Kyle Kuminga, the perfect offense. I think that's the perfect offense for him to fit in. They already got the point guard that came from the Wizards. I can't even think of his name right now. Used to play with Damian Lillard. I'm drawing a complete blank right now on the player that's on that. C.J. McCollum. Why I couldn't think of his name? They got C.J. McCollum over there. I think Gabe Vincent got traded, and I think that was actually a good move for them. Again, his confidence done been knocked down. I don't think people I like LeBron, but I just don't think people LeBron is a killer. And them boy got Buddy Hield. Now, if you talking about shooting, spreading the floor, if Gabe Vincent get a little bit back, man, I like that. I like what Snyder them doing over there, man. Okay, great offense and stuff. But also, Dev Booker, Jalen, Chet, and Tyrese, man. Okay. You also got Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, KD, De'Aaron Fox. B.I. is there, but I don't think B.I. playing in the game. If he is, he might be just like a backup. Of course, Bronny. He ain't no starter, but Bronny, LBJ. Kawhi, Donovan, and then okay, yeah, y'all already know who I'm talking about. The baby face assassin, as my namesake like to call him the best shooter to ever touch a basketball, Steph Curry. All right, the world, um, Denny, Adija, Luke. You got Joker, Shay, Jamal. You know that boy Canadian and stuff too. So Norman Powell. That was something interesting. I know a lot of the NBA players are digging back into like their heritage now when it comes to like the Olympics and playing for different countries and stuff. So I'm actually curious to see how that's going to actually pan out. Pascal Siakam, Sengun, Karl Anthony Towns, like another one. He's, I think, of Dominican descent. Victor Wembanyama, Giannis, Antetokounmpo. So I'm like, man, I'm curious to see. I think they got that right for the most part. As far as like guys playing and stuff in the league and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm excited. Probably more so for the 3-point contest. I think that's kind of like the highlight for me now. Dunk contest, you can kind of miss me with that. Like I don't think it's no thrills and frills coming from that dunk contest or whatever. But man, give me Bobby Portis, man. Okay, give me Bobby Portis. Give me Bobby. Hey, Damian Lillard, who I heard is shooting. Come on, big Dame now. I'm always gonna ride for a point guard. Devin Booker, Kyle Kunkel, Tyrese Maxey, Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell, Bobby Portis, and then Norman Powell. I don't think, even though Donovan is a good shooter, I don't think this is Donovan's style of shooting. I think he exerts too much energy for like this. I think Bobby will too. I was making a joke earlier about Bobby because I think he's the underdog. I think people who thrive in this type of thing is Devin Booker. I don't think Tyrese Maxey is going to come out on top with it because I think like a lot of the other guys, I think Jamal Murray and Devin Booker will be my top picks. Jamal Murray, Devin Booker will be my top picks to win it all. But Dame, he been resting. Dame's won before, so he knows what the hype is about, what it comes with. But yeah, that's gonna be cool to see. I think that's gonna be a good one. But I'm excited. All-Star weekend, kick off this weekend. Go on, tune in, get you a little view. All right, love, man. We'll close out here, man. Love weekend. All right, so first thing I'll say, and then kind of just tying this in, I know, Valentine's Day is, an American-made holiday and stuff, and it's definitely something that a lot of couples celebrate and all of those things. Y'all see, I got the red hue going over here and stuff, but like, love, man, just lead with love, okay? Love is key. Lead with love. Just always show love. And I would just say this, man, like, love on each other, okay? Love on each other, and love on your kids, man. Love is leadership, okay? Love is leadership. Love is definitely key. So do that this weekend with my daughters, well, my youngest daughter, this week for Valentine's Day, and she generally never asks for anything. It's usually my oldest daughter. She's more, boisterous, outgoing. Wants to do things. She'll ask me a question about something before any of my twins will. But my youngest daughter, my twin daughter, this week had a special request that she wanted a red dress for Valentine's Day. So it was kind of cool to see her super excited about that. And one thing I kind of preached to her this week, we kind of discussed this week, was the severity of being humble, to just getting small things like that. So I definitely approach with that narrative because a lot of kids aren't fortunate to be able to ask for something on a Monday or Tuesday, and then you have it for Friday or whatever. That's not always the case. That's not always the situation. So in those moments, I try to use those as teaching moments, or this is my kind of like my dad gym for the week, to be able to make sure you kind of speak life into that with your kids, as far as making sure they understand where they are in their situations in their lives. You don't necessarily have to bring up your past and, show a compare and contrast. I kind of joke about that at times with my kids, kind of like our parents used to do with us. Oh, I used to, walk to school in 8 inches of snow. Man, you wouldn't have made it out the driveway. Okay, cut it out. But I do use these times as teaching moments for just like little small things like that, to understand what we should be thankful for and who we should be thankful for as well. So just my dad gym for the week. When my daughter, finally got her stuff, my son, he put his, well, Daddy, what I'm gonna wear? Okay, so we got him a little T-Rex Valentine shirt. So I think they'll be happy with their swag this week. They V-Day swag this week. Let's look at it, man. And got a survey offline. 5 Valentine's Day ideas. Okay, just a couple for y'all or whatever. The typical one. You go do your nice romantic dinner, man. Do your nice romantic dinner. Don't just go to the grind and wine around the corner from your house. Take it up a notch. It's Valentine's Day. Spin a little cookie, okay? And you might get the jar. All right, here it is. City night out. Man, just go out on the city. Vibe with your significant other, Doesn't necessarily have to be a restaurant or something like that. Just do something, eventful in the city. You got things like candle making classes and, whatever it may be. You got fragrance making classes or mixologist classes. Or if you want your boy to teach you and your significant other how to get down, okay? Country_crafts. Now hit your boy up and we can get it cracking, okay? Wine tasting. All right. It's one of my favorite things to do. All right. I love wine. Definitely a connoisseur. I'm learning more and more. A bucket list thing for me to do would be able to become a sommelier. Would be able to become a sommelier. Okay. So yeah, that would be a bucket list thing for me to do. Like when it's all said and done, I think I have the vernacular and the mindset to be able to go and do something of that extent of, what I'm saying? So I can definitely see myself doing that for sure. Man, hey, go take y'all a nice walk. A walk and talk, okay? Walk and talk, that would always be cool. Or, some type of show. So those are the top 5 things that popped up on this survey list. I'm pretty sure you all can think of many more ideas and stuff like that. Make you a little playlist for your lady, write her a song. I don't know if you a singer like me. Okay? If not, what I'm saying, it don't matter. She gonna get joy out of you looking crazy as hell anyway. All right? Or sounding crazy as hell. But yeah, man, y'all do it up again this weekend. V-Day weekend. Get it in, get it cracking. The sky is the limit for you and your significant other, and I send nothing but love and peace from my end, man. Love your kids, love on your loved ones. Check on your people. Check on the single folk. I know they had Valentine's Day weekend last weekend. Yeah, check on your single folk, man. Send them some love too. Again, just everything tonight. I know I was all over the place, but this week I kind of wanted to just take a break. I didn't want to deal with kind of like the rigor of just, getting my guests together and stuff like that. I also wanted to give you all a little bit more of me because I think that comes with as I grow the podcast and stuff like that. But Super Bowl pressure, halftime identity, NBA emotion. We talked about that. Young talent rising, all-star to all-star flash, and then Valentine's Day love. So a hell of a show that I kind of went through there, and I think that it all comes down to controlling your response. These are some notes that I wrote. Owning who you are, preparing in private, and then loving intentionally. So those would be the messages that I would give out to my people, and gems that I would give to my kids as well. So y'all know the biggest arena. We talked about sports all night. The biggest arena we step into is the house. And I think we got people and little loved ones and even big ones that love us dearly. So let's continue to show love. Again, y'all, I am y'all host, Mr. Country Boy Shaq, and this has been the Everyday Dad's Unfiltered podcast with your boy, Shaq Diesel. Okay? Peace, man. I'll see y'all next week with another guest. But all love. And go love on somebody. Okay? Love. So many things I gotta tell you, but I'm afraid I don't. Yeah, okay. Music Soul Child. Y'all go look him up, okay? 90s babies know. Peace. Chia.